Alright, let's see what their play is. My goodness, I am tired of playing against this card in this format! Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. Today we've got Baldur's Gate in store for you. And for those of you, once again, unfamiliar with this set, there's a link in the upper right hand corner to a video I made a while back about exactly what the set is, cards contained in it, the mechanics in it, all that kind of thing. So go ahead and check that out if you are unfamiliar with exactly what this set is. If not, let's dive in and pack one, pick one. Let's see what we've got here. 5-mana board wipe. Each player chooses a party from among creatures they control, then sacrifices the rest. I don't know how good this board wipe is in this format because party is not really well supported for limited here. There's Guildsworn Prowler, which I think it might be what I'm going to land on here. What does this one do? It's not bad. I mean, I think Stick Together could be pretty good. It has a high upside, but it's a 5-mana Wrath, not a 4-mana Wrath. I like black a little bit more than white, and I don't really know exactly how well that board wipe is going to play out. There's a chance it could be better for your opponent than it could be for you, which is not good news. So you don't really want to be doing that to yourself. Now, Patriarch's Humiliation, otherwise known as Swords to Plowshares, and Steadfast Paladin are probably the two best cards in this pack. There's a couple of green cards. When ETBs seek to instant sorceries with exile them, beginning your next upkeep, copy. I see. Okay. Really, really slow. Something I've noticed in this format already that has kind of stuck out to me like a sore thumb is that it is quite fast. I have died to a lot of aggro decks, and when you try to do things like this in this format, usually you just die. So if we start off with 2 aggressive 2-drops here, I like that start, and we'll see where that goes. 2-mana 2/2 flash. When it ETBs, I can return another permanent I control to my hand. Not exactly where you want to be. 4-mana 3/2. Whenever you attack, up to one target attacking creature can't be blocked, and then you have to return that to your owner's hand. Way too slow for an aggressive format like this, but there is a 3rd pick Skullport Merchant here, and I don't know why. So we're going to take it. I guess they took a rare, and I don't know what the other card would be. But 3rd pick Skullport Merchant, probably the best uncommon in the set, so we're taking that pretty easily here. Then we get past Sepulchre Ghoul. There's an Owlbear, which is interesting. This is not really a card, neither is that. Ettercap is pretty slow. There's a bunch of blue and red stuff. But I think this is between Sepulchre Ghoul and Owlbear. I think I'm going to land on Sepulchre Ghoul. We're not married to this paladin by any means, and if we see a Incessant Provocation, we can jump right into red-black and already have 2 sacrifice outlets. So let's go ahead and take that. Now we see, you hear something on watch for a white-black aggressive deck, and we also see Nefarious Imp if we want to go the more sacrificey route. I think I'm going to take the Imp. This can be pretty aggressive itself. It is a flyer, and it really sets up your draws, especially with Skullport Merchant if we find a couple of treasure kind of things. I think it's between Watch and Imp here, but I'm going to take Imp. I love starting black in this format. That's where we're going to go. Now, all of a sudden, there is no black. So, don't like to see that. Mace of Disruption, no. Steadfast Paladin number 2. I mean, we can still be aggressive with a merchant and things. Squadron is pretty expensive, although does warp the game when you resolve it, and it's Double Team. Double Team is really, really good in the format. I don't know if it's good enough to jump for giant fire beetles over Steadfast Paladin. It could be. This could be a card that I'm willing to be jumped for, but I want the 1-mana 1/1 that taps to perpetually give a card in your hand haste before I really want the beetles too much. So let's take the Paladin and see if we can kind of stay here. So still no more black. Flaming Fist Dustcard, another good white aggressive 2-drop. There's also Hobgoblin Captain. We don't have a reason to be red yet. I think what's going to push me over to be red is if we open a red bomb in pack 2 or find a provocation like pick 8. Then we can move in for that. But let's keep going white. And there we go. Now we see Patriarch's Humiliation. This card has a lot of reading that I don't want to do because it's a blue card. And Manticore, yeah, we're just going to take Humiliation here. And do we wheel any of the other cards from the first pack? We do not. Of course, blue is coming around. Blue is wildly unplayable in this set. I mean, you need like a bomb rare reason to be able to go into blue. Everything else is pretty bad. So we're just going to cut Prophetic Prism. Doubt we play it. Manticore. All this is getting to the point where we don't really want any of this. We'll take Weaponry in case that we go into red-black for some reason, and then you're going to get nothing but blue cards here at the end of the pack because no one wants to play it. And rightfully so, because of how bad it is. So, am I happy with the start? Not really. We just have a bunch of commons and a Skullport Merchant. But sometimes that's all it takes to win in the format. If you're aggressive enough, that's really all it takes. I mean, look at our curve. No 4-drops yet. So, we'll keep that here. And see what we open in pack 2. Eldritch Pact. 7 mana. Target player draws X, loses X, where X is the number of cards in our graveyard. Don't think we can really even consider that. Now we have Rally Maneuver, which is an aggressive white card. We have, you hear something on Watch as well. Steadfast Unicorn could be pretty good, but I see Guildsworn Prowler, and I'm going to take it. So, 2 mana, 2/1, Death Touch basically draws a card when it dies. Unless this deck is going horribly wrong. If it doesn't draw us a card when it dies, something is going wrong in our deck. Here we have Devoted Paladin. I wouldn't mind having one of these at the top of our curve. Same thing with the Gate. Wouldn't mind having a Gate. But we're going to take the removal spell in Sewer Plague here. I think it's the first removal spell we have. Besides Humiliation. But it's 3 mana, -2/2 perpetually. And at the beginning of each upkeep, that creature gets an additional -1/1. So we need some removal to be able to push through our creatures here. Deadly Dispute, not bad. But there's another Humiliation. So we're going to take the extra removal spell. Horde Robber, a little slow for what we're trying to do here. And Deadly Dispute, might consider playing one. But let's go ahead and take the Humiliation. I think we're looking to be white-black aggro here. And try to punish some of those late game decks that don't really get going too quickly with all these 2-drops and removal spells and such. And then if we kind of run out of gas here early, then hopefully Skullport Merchant can help refill our hand. Currently have 8 creatures out of 12 playables. Probably don't have room for Prophetic Prism. Seeing more blue and gonna keep on passing it. I mean, you know this format, it's tough because of how bad blue is, but there are 10 cards in this pack and 6 of them, sorry, there are 11 cards in this pack and 6 of them you can't even consider because of how bad blue is. I mean, I'm not moving in for this, right? So we have 1 white card that's super expensive. We have 2 black cards, a red and a green card. So we're going to take the Imp and then probably see 5 more blue cards in this next pack, almost. Maraudin's Disciples is a good aggressive 4-drop in white. I think that's what I'm going to land on over the Gate here. Don't care about either of these in my archetype. So let's go ahead and take the Disciples. Our first 4-drop, but it is a double team card. Would love to get some Soldiers of the Watch and things like that, but I know those are quite coveted, obviously, as they should be, because they're very good. And yeah, need maybe some combat tricks. Wouldn't mind that Armor of Shadows or 2 to help our creatures survive and keep attacking. With double Prowler, that would be very good. But I think everyone knows white-black is among the best decks in the format. Any of the Mardu colors are really going to get you there. Here's the card I was talking about earlier. Kobold Warcaller, 1 mana, 1/1. Tap to give a card in your hand haste. There's a Minimus Containment and a Hook Horror. I think our deck is shaping up to be aggressive enough that I'm willing to run a Containment here. I started out the format liking this quite a bit. It is a removal spell. But you have to be careful when you cast this, because I've noticed if I've cast this on turn 3 to push some damage in, and the next turn they just drop like a Hill Giant Herd Gorger off the treasure that they get, then that is really bad news for us. But we'll go ahead and take our first one here. And now we see Steadfast Unicorn and Sepulchre Ghoul number 2. I'm going to take the Unicorn. I've yet to play with or against this, but I think it could be pretty good as a good mana sink for us. So we'll go ahead and take that. Sepulchre Ghoul, you're ambushed on the road. It is a combat trick. I think I'm just going to go with the Ghoul here. I think double Ghoul could help us kind of push through some extra damage if we just attack with everything. You hear something on watch, and a Rally Maneuver came back, which is good. Which is better? I'm going to take You Hear Something on watch because it's 2 mana over 3. I wouldn't mind playing a Rally Maneuver in this deck, though. And then we get to the part of the pack where we see nothing but blue cards from here to the end. So we're just going to take these all up. And hopefully find a couple more aggressive cards. I think the top winning is common in this entire set. And sorry, I'm not the greatest with these card names even still. It's the 4 mana kind of pacifism effect that gives you a Soldier of the Watch on the battlefield. Would love to open that in pack 3. That would be great. Dawnbringer Cleric, probably not good enough for this deck. Let's see what we find. Wrathful Red Dragon, 5 mana 5/5 flyer. Whenever a dragon you control is dealt damage, deals that much damage to any target that is the dragon. That's pretty good, but not quite for us. Can't really take it. There is Viconia here, and I think that's what I'm going to land on. Let's take a look what else we have, though. You're confronted by robbers, 4 mana, tap up to 3 target creatures, or make 3 1/1s. That seems really good. Flaming Fist Dustguard on the wheel would be nice. Ranger Squadron, I don't know if I'd play, but Viconia is really, really good. It's another 2-drop. Hoses a couple of graveyard things, specializes to get us more cards, but I would love to wheel this, but I really don't think it will. So let's take Viconia. And now we have Devoted Paladin to top off the curve, or Armor of Shadows. Would not mind a copy of both. We're a little bit lower on creatures than I'd like, so I'm going to take the Paladin over the first copy of Armor. This might wheel, but because it's the only black card in the pack, my guess is it doesn't. I don't think we want Icewind Stalwart. So let's take the Paladin here. And our colors are already starting to dry up. Baldur's Gate, no. Deadly Dispute, maybe. Thieves' Tools might be able to push through enough damage for us. Maybe it's worth running in this deck. Icewind Stalwart, no. I think it's between these two. And this is... We have card advantage in Double Prowler and Skullport Merchant. So for that reason, I think I'm going to take the tools over the Deadly Dispute. Another Unicorn could be pretty good. So let's take that. Provocation here. But that ship has sailed. So let's take Steadfast Unicorn number 2. All white and all black cards are gone. So this might have to be the deck right here. Okay, well, we found Pegasus Guardian and Steadfast Paladin. This is not quite the deck for Pegasus Guardian, so we'll take Steadfast Paladin number 3. And what I'm worried about this deck is that we have so many 2-drops that if we kind of stall out, we're just going to top deck something like a Steadfast Paladin. And it's not really going to get the job done for us. So maybe we can get one more removal spell. Blessed Hippogriff, pick 7. Wow. I've yet to play with or against this card, but I think it's probably really good. 4 mana 2/3 flyer, when it attacks, it gives something else flying, and you can save a creature, give it indestructible for 1 white mana as an instant for the adventure side. So we're going to take that. Love to see that. Pit Trap, probably not. Squadron came back. Don't know if we'll play that. I think we're hoping the game is kind of done by turn 6. Nothing here wheeled. I mean, Cloak of the Bat, that just seems way too clunky, right? And that'll probably have to be the deck. I mean, we could really bring only Manticore, Dawnbringer Cleric, Spiked Pit Trap in. I'm probably looking to run maximum 16 lands. I think 15 would be a little low. 15's hard. Do have 18 creatures. Double Humiliation seems good. We do have a couple mana sinks like Unicorn and Skullport Merchant. And equipping Thieves tools. So I think 16 seems fine. Yeah, so definitely 16. And if we did 16, this would just straight up be the deck. Is Squadron good enough? Over maybe... I mean, it's just these 4 cards right here is really it. And Manticore, I guess. Maybe we could run a Manticore? I mean, it kind of opens up attacks into the late game where, like, we just attack with everything, and whatever they block with, we could just flash in a Manticore. I think this could be good enough to maybe push that last little point of damage through. Got 18 creatures still for double humiliation. And yeah, I think this is how we're going to run it back and trend toward the aggressive slant of the format with this deck for sure. Go ahead and check out the description of this video to see the link to the Daily Drafters Discord. We'd love to have you join. And we are right on in to game number 1 here. Obviously need a black. Humiliation is not great right now, but we're going to keep it. We're on the play, so that helps. They're mulliganing to 5. Very quickly. So let's hope we can take advantage of their mulligan. Well, they're probably going to block this. Would be shocked if they didn't. Yeah. So we'll go to damage. The reason I did that is because, I mean, having these tools in hand is an argument to not make that trade there, but that thing is going to trade for one of our creatures at some point in this game. So, all right. Okay, so let's attack here. Yeah, no need to really block for them. And then we can do Sepulchre Ghoul and hold up Humiliation, I guess. And kill an X2. Alright. They don't have an instant, so another Basilisk. That kind of dampens our plans here. But we can Humiliation that. I think I will. Let's go ahead and get the 4/4 down. They have Vigilance, right? Yeah. Okay. Thieves' Tools makes a treasure. Skullport Merchant can sack these treasures to draw cards. So let's hope Skullport Merchant survives at least one more turn here. Okay. All right, let's start with this thing. They do have an instant now, which is interesting. Let's just go in here. I don't want to be the one to make the first move. Like if I attack with this and then sacrifice this and then they still save it, then that's not good at all for us. So I'm just going to do this and then hold up Skullport Merchant here. Okay. So we'll go ahead, sacrifice that so they don't get to draw two, or scry, I mean. And then still no need to use these treasures to equip or anything, so we'll end the turn. Yeah, not a bad attack. I'm not sure I'm willing to try to bounce this off in case they have a combat trick. Okay, so they didn't seem to have an instant there. So probably could have gotten away with blocking. Definitely want to get this down. And still don't want to use these treasures. As soon as we top deck a land, we're kind of off to the gates of using Skullport Merchant to refill our hand here. Still no attacks. I think everything's going fine for now. There's a Paladin. They're gaining a bunch of life off these stupid shepherds. So I don't really have a great way to trade here, so we're just gonna have to do that. Let's do this one. Let's get in. Problem is, I still want to save these treasures for the merchant, but I mean, they have good attacks, so let's do this one here. And this can at least trade with one of these pretty easily. No blocks for now. They have this gate activation up, and they could also have an instant, but I don't think they do, because they probably would have attacked with shepherds if they had that. Like band together or something. Certainly thinking about something here. We do have this boon over here. Next creature we cast gets +1/+0. Putting on the flyer might not be bad. Okay, they're just going to seek that card now. We have to start getting a little aggressive here too. I'm fine making a couple chumps here at some point as well, because we have so many creatures right now. So we'll give that one flying. Then we'll play this one here. We'll end the turn. We won't give that one flying. We'll give the flyer +1/+0. And I'm going to try to pick up on if they get priority prior to blocks here. And if they don't, I'm probably going to trade one of these for that. Let's see. Okay, so now their hand is on the table. Okay. So we can trade this ghoul. No, we would be trading both of these ghoul for the paladin here. This thing attacking every turn is getting pretty annoying. They are out of cards in their hand, so like theoretically we can, if we wither down their board here, they're kind of out of gas, and we have gas with this merchant. So like we could do this and then trade both of these here, and then we lose these three. They have this and we have these three here, plus this in hand and 2 cards to draw. I know the unicorn is good. But we have to make sure that we get on the aggressive here at some point. Let's just do this. Okay. All that dies. Minimus containment at this point in the game seems like a fine enough draw. Don't want this thing getting +1 counter on it, so we could just containment this, hold up this, draw cards, and then kind of go to town from there. Let's do that. Go to combat, attack here, and attack here. Tap that down, hit them for 4, and now we just have to avoid a couple of top decks here. We should be all right. Okay. We'll get in with everything. We can sewer plague this down if we have to. But I'll just start by doing this. And then we can sewer plague whatever we need to here. If they attack, that's totally fine. We have lifelink as well. We can just take it and go to 8. There's also a neat little trick you could do here by equipping Sepulchre Ghoul with Thieves' Tools, attacking, and then before damage, activating this, and it will be a 4-powered creature unblockable. So that's a nice little trick you can do with this in the format here. Don't think it'll come down to that, but if it does, it's a thing. Looks like we are more than likely getting roped here, so sorry about that. If you want to go ahead and skip forward a little bit, that's my guess as to what's happening. All right, they put us out of the roping misery. Want to know? Let's truck along here. Before we hop into the next game here, I wanted to remind you that a subscription to the channel is always greatly appreciated. I mean, hey, if you made it this far in the video, clearly you're enjoying something, so giving back in even such a small way as a subscription or even a like on the video will go a long way for the growth of the channel and my ability to produce more high quality content for you all. It's absolutely free and will never cost you a dime, and then you'll have access to the most consistent high quality MTG Limited content on YouTube. Thanks so much for your consideration, and now back to the draft. On the play with Paladin and Humiliation, and ideally a couple more creatures off the top. So we'll keep this one and hope we don't find all of the lands. I think I'm going to lead with Paladin. Next turn we could kill an X2 with this. Definitely going to kill that. And if they somehow get it back, it loses double team because it loses all abilities. Oh my god. Okay. Well, don't quite know what to do about this one here. Because Shamlagast is going to wreck Nefarious Imp. I guess we could attack with Paladin if they want to trade here, then they trade there. Then we can play Imp, and then it's kind of protected from the gas, but they're going to get another Soldiers of the Watch. This is the card I was saying I really wanted access to. But also a land off the top lets us play Paladin and have good attacks here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this and pass. In the event that we draw a land off the top, then we can play Devoted Paladin, and then we actually have good attacks, depending on what they play here. Alright, we'll go ahead and sacrifice that. They won't get a treasure, and then Soldiers of the Watch doesn't have good attacks here, and that's not a land, and it's wildly mana inefficient next turn, but it does get rid of Soldiers of the Watch, so I guess we keep it. And then I'll go ahead and get in here. Okay. Now a land off the top lets us play Ranger Squadron. That's nice. That's not nice. That's not a land. I don't really want to use this land to play, or this treasure to play Paladin. Because Thieves' Tools next turn can guarantee that we play Ranger Squadron by creating this treasure, and we have nothing else to do with our mana, so let's just do this. See what they could have access to here. Steadfast Paladin, a couple Soldiers of the Watch, but they both lost double team perpetually. So that's good. Very, very similar decks here, as you've seen. All right, let's go to attackers. They are getting priority right now, but it very likely is just this activation here. Let's hit with the imp. Well, I guess we got punished a little bit. We don't get the scry off of this now when these leave the battlefield. And I can't do this now, otherwise we lose the mana going into second main phase. But I would have rather them use it on this than save it for Ranger Squadron here, so. This does guarantee we play Paladin next turn, but even if we don't draw a land next turn, we can still play Imp. But I would like to get the second Ranger Squadron down, so I think I'm actually going to leave that on top. And then we'll do this. And hope we can attack with it. So our turn next turn is play Paladin, attack with Squadron, get another one in hand, and then from there, either draw a land, play another one, or play an imp, plus whatever else we draw. Equip one of these. I mean, we have some things going on. But if this Squadron dies, I don't like that at all. Okay. Cross your fingers. All right, good. We at least got the trigger. Okay, down to 10. Quite the draw for them. Okay. I wonder if they're splashing any provocations in this deck. They've already shown Deadly Dispute and a Ghoul here. It's possible. Alright, so they're going to get themselves a copy of Paladin. But that's okay. I'd like to hold this back because it holds back essentially their whole board. So let's just get in with Ranger Squadron. Now we'll play Imp and Guildsworn Prowler, and next turn we can attack with Prowler as well. Could also hit them for 5, 6, 7 unblockable, but that's not quite lethal. Okay, that's good news. Does that do anything? Not really. But we don't have anything else to do, so let's go ahead. Equip this here. If we containment the Sepulchre Ghoul, then we would have Paladin trade for Viconia. But I don't want this to attack again because this Paladin has lifelink, so. Yep, looks like they didn't want to give themselves one more draw step, but we'll take it. Okay, well, we've been really lucky going first so far. We have 1 drop into 2 drop with protection after that, so we're going to keep this pretty easily. And we're playing against blue, so things are great. All right. We have the Adventure Protection to give target creature indestructible until end of turn if they try to go for a removal spell, but they don't. Probably just going to play this thing now. They can't really attack because we have the ability, or block, because we have the ability to pump this. That's what I thought. So go to damage. We could just play Paladin and hold up Hippogriff still, the adventure part. I mean, it protects our board against removal, but this is also very good to have on the board. I'm actually going to do this, because I don't know how many more turns this is going to be relevant here. And we have protection now. So they have 5 mana. What do you got? It's a lizard. Is it a lizard dragon or just a lizard? Just a lizard. Okay. Alright, so we will go ahead and protect that. One, two, three, four, five, 6. So Minimus Containment lets us push through 6 damage right now, as opposed to just putting a Blessed Hippogriff on the field. We can still get through for 2. I think the Hippogriff... We gotta get these creatures on the battlefield, don't we? I'm fine trading a Unicorn for a Librarian, if they're gonna let me do that. So on that note, let's get in here. Alright. And then we'll just play this. And now we have removal. Oh my god, never mind. Alright, we need a land, because this has ward 2. Land. Nope. Alright, well, looks like we probably just lost to Miram Sentinel Warren again. I think we lost to that on Monday or Tuesday. So let's just play this. And go ahead, have your fun. Okay, get 2 of those. Okay, well, we're going to have to try to do this then. See if it works or if they have a counterspell. Okay, so it did work. Let's go here, here, and here, and we can give this one flying. And if they trade here, we get to draw a card anyway. I guess we can trade a unicorn for that again, if they want to let that happen. They are getting priority, though, which I don't like. So let's go in here, and we'll give it to this one. Okay, so that gains Death Touch. I guess they'll give it to us. Thank God we top decked the land and they didn't have a busted Sentinel Worm turn after they played it. Alright, I'm loving these going first here with this aggro deck, so we're going to take this. We've kind of had Paladin on 2 almost every game. I'm going to do this first, and the reason being, because if they play a 1-drop, we would get priority with Patriarch's Humiliation, and I do not want them to see that we have that. Let's start with Paladin, so that next turn we can go Prowler and still hold up Humiliation. Plus we'll get some life gain if we can kill their X2 here. That's what we will be doing. So we'll do this, we will do this, and then we'll do that. And we'll have Sewer Plague up for next turn. Wow, that is certainly a roadblock. But I'm willing to trade with this one because we draw a card. They won't let me. But we can Sewer Plague that at the end of the turn. No plays. Alright. Okay, it's now a 1-2. And they could have a combat trick. My guess is they might have the Lindworm or Lindworm combat trick here. So if I attack with this, they still get value off of that, but this is going to die anyway, and I don't want them to trade now because it's going to die. So I'm just going to play this and then pass, unless they do something here. Which they don't, so I'm just going to pass. And if they play that hexproof combat trick, it's going to die eventually anyway. Alright, so they were holding up their own removal. We are getting to the point where we don't have a lot of gas here, and not a lot on the board. Alright, let's do this in case they try to remove something when we attack. Alright, we did get through. Now, sacrificing this treasure means we might not be able to play Ranger Squadron next turn, but let's see if they... Oh my god. Well, that'll probably do it. Put any number of target creature cards with total from graveyards onto the battlefield. Well, the good news is this is dead. This is dead. So they can get a Sepulchre Ghoul just to get a 2/2, I guess. I am going to do this. Because we have 2 shots at a land now. And missed them both. Viconia is a pretty good answer to Brass Dragon here because it can just keep exiling cards from graveyards. So, I mean, yeah, they get to poke us for 7 every turn, but, like, they're at 12, so. I don't think I want to play Ghoul here. Because we can hold up Merchant and do this. But this could be an argument to possibly like winning next turn is the thing. Yeah, you know what? I am going to play Ghoul. Because if they don't have another answer or another threat, we could have pretty good attacks. Interesting. I think I get... Let me just do this. Well, they could like have an instant speed mill effect. They have to target this, right? Any number of target creatures. So because they have to target, I think I get priority with Viconia. But maybe not. So because of that, I'm just going to do this. I don't want to risk this. Hopefully they don't have instant speed mill. Alright, so they got nothing. It's pretty good. Knoll Hunter, okay. Another creature? They have something. We could play this and play Ranger Squadron. We could specialize Viconia, discarding a swamp. I still think they have the +2/+2 and hexproof trick over there. Which means we attack, we hit them for 8, and then if they like block this and then we sacrifice Merchant in response to them doing that, we could kill them. Yeah, they're still getting priority. I think it's +2/+2 because they represented that really hard earlier, even though they played Sewer Plague. And we have multiple ways to sacrifice creatures if things go wrong here. Oh, it also untaps. Forgot about that. It untaps Ancient Brass Dragon. But that's okay, because we can sacrifice to like either any of these effects. I think it's okay. We might lose the value off the Viconia here. But at the same time, this Brass Dragon might... Okay, so I'm going to flash in Manticore. Okay. Alright, what do you got then? So they'd be taking 5 like this, and the next turn they could be getting a ton. But we could just chump Brass Dragon here with Ranger Squadron, just to make sure they don't get anything. We'd be taking 5. We can make them take 7 if we sacrifice one of these. Okay, let's make them take 5. And then my plan is to probably chump Brass Dragon. We just can't risk them getting like 4 more creatures onto the battlefield here. So let's hope they didn't top deck something good. Well, that's certainly something. But I don't think it's enough. So we need to specialize. What can we get here? So we need to specialize into the one that drains them, which is the black one. So let's first exile. I don't think it matters what we get. I guess we'll get a Prowler here. I know we already had the Ghoul under, but then we can specialize the black one. Drain them for 2. And then if they block this, they die. If they block this, they don't die. Wait, yes they do. Okay, so they're just dead. Sorry, I thought they were still at 5. All right, that'll do it. We got a little lucky there. They certainly had some bombs in their deck, but managed to find their way through them. And pushing back to plat 4. All right, game number 5 here. And we have no creatures but a 6-drop. And a couple of things that don't really do much for us. But we have 18 creatures in the deck. I know this is slow, but Thieves' Tool gives us ramp. This protects us against an attacker, so I'm going to keep it and cross my fingers. We have a lot of creatures in the deck. And we're playing against blue, so things are fine. Young Blue Dragon's Adventure of Sand Augury. Scry 1, draw a card. So sorcery speed opt for 2. I think we need to Sepulchre Ghoul here just to get onto the battlefield again. And now we have You Hear Something I'll Watch and Thieves' Tools. Am I okay trading either of these for Soul Knife Spy? I mean, Ghoul isn't doing much in our deck necessarily. Okay. That's good news. Now we can hold up You Hear Something and Watch as soon as they think they're going to be able to get in with Soul Knife Spy. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell. But if they do, that means they can't progress their board. So that's that. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that looks like fun. All right. So we can play the Squadron here off of the treasure. Or we can start making Sepulchre Ghoul unblockable. I think the Squadron's going to be quite good. And they're very unlikely to block here. And if they do, I'm probably fine with it. Okay, so they're going to go to 5. And we're going to play a 3-4 with Double Team. If young blue dragon's their only play, then they're dead. They have 5 more cards in hand, so... It's a non-creature, right? Yeah. But they don't have anything that's worth blinking right now. Yep, so that should do it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and equip this here. Oop, tapped that a little bit wrong, not that it really matters. Go to combat, and then attack with everything, sacrifice the Dust Guard after blocks, and make this a 5. Alright, 5-0, let's keep rolling. Alright, we're on the draw here. We have 1 creature in hand, 4 non-creatures. I think we have 18 creatures in the deck, so we only have 2 other non-creature spells in the entire deck. So, and that's a pretty good draw as well. So we'll play Unicorn, play Viconia, and then we have kind of whatever we want after that. Playing against another aggro deck. Happy to trade off this here. Not going to attack, so we can leave it back to block. I don't know what that does, but it can't be good. Are you kidding me? +3/+2 haste attacks each combat if able and first strike. Okay, well we need a land. There we go. That'll kill it. Now it'll die on their upkeep. They can recast this. Next time it only gives +2/+1. And then +1/+0. God, what is this? Wow, these are some... Alright, so if we draw a white, things are great, but problem is they have... Oh, they have... Well... Not particularly. We're already at 10. I think they have the card that gives it indestructible, the Blessed Hippogriff. We could play You Hear Something on Watch, but that's our whole turn. We can play Thieves' Tools and still do You Hear Something on Watch with the treasure. Are they getting priority? Yeah, they're still getting priority. So it could be either Patriarch's Humiliation or Blessed Hippogriff Adventure. I don't know which it is, but we have to hope that it's Patriarch's Humiliation for our own sake. So let's do this. I mean, yeah, starting off with this is quite a start. I mean, if they attack, I'm probably still firing off You Hear Something on Watch. Right? I think I have to. That's also a serious problem. Alright, they still do have that up, so let's see if that's what it is. Or if it's Patriarch's Humiliation. Alright, it's Humiliation, so we have to keep that in mind here. Definitely want to get rid of that. That's a pretty big problem here. So what we can do is play Paladin, play Viconia. Is that Flash or something? No. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to play Paladin. I'm going to exile this stupid thing. I know it's not a creature, but I want to get rid of it. And then while they're tapped out, I'm just going to do this. Well, they're not technically tapped out, but I think they have one of these of their own. And that makes it worse. So we'll go ahead and get in. And now they are at 11, and we're at 10. We have a Viconia able to specialize, and they have a double striker. Erg. Think we're gonna specialize in getting Battlecry Goblin? We could also just play the Imp. It doesn't have Vigilance. Alright, I'm going to play the Imp here, which was not good because now they can use Humiliation on it. Don't know why I did that, but I think it's still okay. They didn't choose to. Yeah, that's a good combo. Do we sacrifice Unicorn to not take 6 here? I guess we do. So what are we going to get with this specialize over here? Probably still just Battlecry Goblin, I guess. Is that good enough? So what are we doing next turn? We're spending 2 mana to specialize, and then 2 mana to cast the Goblin. I think we can do better than that. We can't activate the Goblin unless we have treasure. If we just play this, is that better? So we get them down to 9. We play the Hippogriff. Next turn we could attack them with Viconia for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then casting the Battlecry Goblin is 9? That is lethal. That is lethal, so... No, but forget... No, they have Humiliation. And I knew that. So that was a big old misplay. It's probably going to cost us this game here. Yep, very, very not great. So let's see what they kill. All right, they didn't kill anything, but they can very easily do so. Yeah, they have Humiliation. I don't know why I didn't take that into consideration there. I should have just held this up and specialized, and then when they tried to kill this or something, we could give it indestructible. It was a bit of a mistake. Okay, so right now we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A combat trick kills us. But we know they're going to kill at least one of our creatures here. I'm willing to die to a combat trick. there's the humiliation that we knew they had. And that'll probably do it in their favor here. They had two of them. Okay. That won't save us. Yeah, I mean, they had two, so like pretty much no matter what we did, they would have blown us out in any way we tried to block, so I don't think it would have mattered, but it was still definitely a mistake. Well, this is among the slower hands our deck can produce, but we are on the draw. We have a treasure here on turn 2 if we don't draw 2-drop. We'll go ahead and keep it, I guess. Playing against the 205th ranked player in the world here, so gonna have to be on our A game. If we don't die before we play anything. Yeah, I'm gonna lead on the lifelinker. Still can't really block, it's the problem. Yep, we're just going to get run over here, probably. Next turn we could play Paladin, but it depends on how our board survives. They're probably going to remove at least one thing here. So we could trade Paladin for that. But getting down this Paladin is going to be pretty good for us. So I'm going to risk doing that. There's the other Rabble Rousers and Hobgoblin Captain with first strike. Yeah, they are quite aggressive here. I think we'll do this. I know it gets rid of this treasure, but we just have to stabilize here. Am I okay trading this for a captain? Yeah. Ranger Squadron looking pretty bad in this hand against the oops, all aggro deck from the opponent here. Chain Devil is not good. That's the best I've ever seen this card be. Oh god, are we even going to have time to use the draw ability on Skullport Merchant? I think a 4/4 is just better at this point. Gonna have to take 2 here. Thieves' Tools allows us to still cast either Imp or Sewer Plague. Imp trades with Chain Devil. Sewer Plague kills one of them. I'm going to do this. It gives us a scry as well if we do choose to trade this off. We are still at 17, but gosh, we are on the back foot this whole game. I mean, I'm just waiting for a Dragon's Fire, a Grim Bounty to just wreck us. Okay, so we trade that, which is what it is, I guess. Humiliation is not bad, except for the fact that we only have one creature. But I'm going to keep it, because I think it can still be pretty good. We have 2 removal spells here. So next turn, we're probably going to Sewer Plague on end step or during attacks, and then hold up Humiliation if things go awry. Probably playing Fire Beetles here. Okay. So I think we're going to Sewer Plague away the devils here. Just while they're tapped out. I mean, I know they have a treasure, but this has good attacks on this board, and I just want to get rid of it. And then we do have Humiliation up. It only deals 1 damage. But maybe they play like a Soldiers of the Watch or something. Well, no, because they're in black-red. We have a lot of creatures we can top deck that makes this pretty good on their giant fire beetles here. ETBs, if you cast a return target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand, you're going to get back a Deadly Dispute, which is going to be really good against Humiliation. And they can specialize it and then do Drain Us on instant or sorceries or give creatures +1/+0. Yeah. And it just straight up becomes a 4/5, which is a problem. Ugh. Do we just kill this thing now? That way they can't Deadly Dispute it? Because we're probably just Minimus Containment on Gale. So what I'm... There's no way we could do that correctly, right? So if we... Oh, it loses all abilities, so it doesn't actually give them a treasure. So, put that there. And then containment on Gale. And there's no reason, I mean, no real reason to do that. So we have to take 2 more from Fire Beetles, and we'll see what happens here. But kind of dodged a bullet a little bit. We just need to find some good things off the top of our deck. Don't have good blocks anymore, because they can just pump this so many times. But, I mean, they can just keep doing that. We're probably just going to die. We're at 11. At 9. Yeah, we're just constantly on the back foot here, so much. And these rabble-rousers are probably going to put us out of our misery here. Don't know what that does, but it's probably not good. So to fight the imp, and then when it attacks, they get a copy of it as well. So yeah, they just had a really, really good aggro deck. They could also just get rid of Paladin, which is like pretty good because we have no good blocks with the Imp. Yeah, I mean we have to take 6 here. We have no good blocks. Oh, God. So if we top deck a land, are we just chumping with this right now? Chumping, going to 5, and then blocking that and taking enough. So, I mean that. What if we don't chump? We go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to 3, play this, and then they still win. So no matter what we do, that's not good enough. So I guess we're just no blocks here. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. I mean, I can kill like one of these, but then we just, I mean, yeah, their deck was just quite aggressive, got off to a really good start, and we kept a hand that was not good against aggro. On the draw here with 5 lands, but we do have Paladin, and again, we have 18 creatures in this deck, so we have a lot of things we can do. And that's probably going to be the end of our draft here. I mean, it specializes for 4, so at least it can't specialize right now. But yeah, we're just going to get trampled hard. Not to mention we've drawn 2 straight lands here. Well, they got a combat trick, so we can't block. Okay. We need another creature about right now. Oh my god. That is another creature, so... Yep, except for the fact that this still has Ward 2. So... Okay. Take 2 more. Well, they have all the derpy creatures in ramp that they want, but they don't really have much of the payoffs for that yet. Okay, they had no priority there. So we could theoretically kill Wilson now. Alright, killed Wilson. Now what? We got nothing left in our hand. All they gotta do is drop a Hill Giant Herd Gorger and then game's pretty much over here. Or that? Put X 1/1 counters on each of up to 2 target creatures. Okay. That seems about right. So we're going to have to chump with the Imp here. If they let us. Does it have trample? No. Pass to blockers. Put this land on the bottom. That's not really going to do it. still not... It's good, but all they have to do is just hit us once and then we're dead in next turn. So we'll get in here. And then pass it back. And get smacked by an ancient bronze dragon. And then die to a bomb. Oh, they get the counters on both of them. They don't distribute them amongst them. Goodness gracious. Why do they have to put commander cards in this set? Alright. 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. 10 land. We only have 6 lands in our last 23 cards here. But now we're going to have to... get in here. Sacrifice it. Try to find Minimus Containment. They still have a 5/5 flyer. Like, what else are we doing? So, yeah, I'm just going to end this one here. Stinking Ancient Bronze Dragon. 10 lands in our top 17 or whatever. So, yep. 5-3. Feels bad when you start 5-0. But, you know, 5-3 is not the worst record you can end up with. So, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video. We have our trophy playlist at the end screen, as well as all the Baldur's Gate drafts in a playlist as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.